tired. I just feel the pressure of the things that I have in mind. I wanted peace, I wanted to be fine. I wonder why I can't adjust it for a while. I really want to see what it looks like. To have a moment I knew that it would be mine. When the windows are all closed, like a picture of a time. What the future is all you're looking for. Save me from everything. Tell me where to find my way. I'm just looking for something. I can't make it another day. 'Cause I'm falling down, fading away. 'Cause I'm falling down. This is what I know, I just keep running. I was working fast and hard, never thinking about now. But living unhappy thanks to all the things that I have to try. I wanted peace, I wanted to be fine. I wonder why I can't adjust it for a while. I really want to see what it looks like. To have a moment I know that would be mine. Would be mine.
good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Once again, two series for us here, the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. This is the Rockingham 150 brought to you by Jinx Shifters. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason over here, Signature Esports at Work.
And welcome back, everybody, to our Friday night special with the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. This is it, the final race of the season, championship night here at Kentucky Speedway. And boy, I think we're in for a good one, where 4 drivers here today are competing for that final crown to be claimed the league's best driver here this season. I'm Alan Brown, and I'm joined in the booth, as always, by Mr. Alan English. Alan, how you doing tonight, man?
Good, man. It's, like you say, it's Final Four time tonight. A little bit of difference in these top 4 drivers, and I'll say this with all due respect to Taver and Joe Nidick, but neither of those two guys have a win this season. And they're in the Final Four. They both got 4 or 5 top 5s. They both have 6 top 10s. But Anthony Fry's got 1 win, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s. Justin Malarkey is arguably your favorite coming into this race with 2 wins, 3 top 5s, and 4 top 10s. So really look forward to seeing who's going to be the most patient tonight and who's going to just let it all hang out and really charge to the front and try to make a statement early.
And down there on pit road, we got Mr. Adam Turner. Adam, I got a feeling tempers might get a little heated today if some action goes on, especially involving those 4 guys all involved here for that championship.
I hope so. I'd like to see some fights. I'd like to see these guys bang it out for the championship, and I think they will. There's 4 guys left, and then the rest of the guys are going to play spoiler. 80 degrees out on the track, so it's cool. That shouldn't be an issue. 0 fast repairs, which could come into play. And 80% fuel. And I'm telling you, how many miles is this damn thing? It's 175 laps. I can't even calculate that.
262.5, I think is what we calculated on mileage.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one, so you're going to have to play the long game here. Marathon, not a sprint, definitely. And we're going to crown a champion tonight. So.
Ration those beers too, I guess.
Well, I'm going straight to whiskey, so it'll be good about lap 120. You guys, I'll be in my prime.
As our guys start to slowly trickle out here, putting in some qualifying laps, we saw there the 73 of Malarkey currently holding that top spot. Now the 64 of Tony Fry putting in some laps. Also got the 24 of Joe Nidick now just going out there. But, I mean, not only that, but we got people out here, still racing for that win. We got, Greg Klein, Matt Forns, Mike Pimpere, Justin Barkley. We still got, a relatively full field for these guys.
Yeah, and we it'd be really cool to see an upset driver come in and take this win. And how that Final Four is going to work, it's whoever gets the best finish out of those 4. They don't necessarily have to be the race winner or top 10 driver or whatever. If they finish the bottom 4 cars, whoever was the closest to the front, is going to take that championship tonight. So we might see a double burnout tonight. Maybe a non-playoff driver and one of these guys up there doing a burnout. So
Well, here's my thought. I mean, this is where your teammate's going to come into play. I think we're going to see some blocking by some guys that are on a certain team that, are against the other team as far as having a championship driver, So some of these guys that are not in the championship per se are going to play a role in this. And I think it's going to be all calculated, and that's when we may have some fights.
yeah, you've got.
Love to see it.
And Adam, I'm glad you brought up the team thing because there's only one team that has multiple drivers in the top 4, and that's Latte Motorsports.
As Taver Mowry comes on out to put in his qualifying effort. But if you look at that top of the board right now, 3 out of the 4 drivers, barring Taver here still needing to put in a official lap time, those guys are all in that championship race. So just from the get-go, we're going to see some hot action out there just because those 3 are all right up together up at the front.
Right, and like kind of what I'm saying, let's say Speed Demon Motorsports, you have Malarkey, who's the potential front runner here. He's got a teammate out there in McComas. Is McComas going to take a hit for his teammate? Thinking maybe so. If he needs to block, and it goes the same way for Neidig and Mowry and Brown. So that's going to be an interesting thing. I think that will. I wouldn't think that would come into play till a little bit later in the race, but something to watch for anyway.
It looks like all of our drivers that wanted to put a time in have, and we'll take a look here at this race info. This championship race brought to you by A&J Custom Creations. This is a 175 lap race from them, so thank you once again for sponsoring this great event, and definitely go look them up for some of your printing needs on tumblers and little shirts and stuff. And man, they got some good products out there. Nice night weather here, so track temp's not going to be much of an issue. Same thing with just weather overall, it's going to be all right, but gonna bring it on down to that key to the race, and you got to leave it all out there on this racetrack because there's no other race after this one.
Yeah, tomorrow's too late. I mean, these guys, this is the last race of the Cup season. They'll start back up again. I think 3rd week in January is when it's going to kick back off. But, yeah, these guys are gridding up right now for the last time this season. So look for a bigger field, maybe a few more cars fielded next season. I think they're shooting for 40, 10 teams of 4. So it's going to be a great season next season. I can't wait.
As we take a look here at our starting race positions, just Malarkey winning pole position with the 24 of Joe Neidig going to be starting on that outside. So we got 2 championship drivers right at the front, and right behind them you got the 64 of Tony Fry starting here in 3rd. The 48 of William Brown, Latte Motorsports, is going to be starting in 4th with Justin Barkley, the 22 Mac and Cheese, starting in 5th. You got sneaky Pete Van Sprundle in the 80 in 6th with Red Stick Mike Simone in 7th. Stephen McComas is going to be starting here 8th with Taver Mowry. Going to need to make up a few positions here. Going to be starting in 9th with the 10 of Hello Fellers, Matt Forns in 10th.
Pine Tree State native Michael Pimpare in that 21 starting in 11th. The 92 of Greg Klein starting in 12th. He's looking for a win tonight too, hopefully. Derek Schimmel in the 96 machine, Angry Idiots Chief, starting 13th. The 26 of Michael Buckley starting 14th. The 01 of Brian Kaufman starting 15th. And the 71 of Eric Davis 16th. I think those 2 guys are race control.
They're not racing.
Okay, my bad, folks. Hey, I'm just a a dumb animal. I just read what's on the prompter.
Yeah, you're Ron Burgundy? Yeah. Quit reading the prompter. Just put some brain into it.
Told you, man. It's one of them evenings.
So here we go. We got the whole field gathering up behind this pace car, entering turns 3 and 4, getting ready to take to this green flag for the first time here tonight. And boy, is it gonna be a long one, so you might want to buckle up, strap on that drinking helmet, throw inhibition out the window, because it is race time. Pace car making that turn now down into pit road. Justin Malarkey, Joe Nidick up here at the front, getting ready to take to this green flag. Just waiting for that thing to start waving, and here we go. 2 wide racing down and across the line. Side by side they go down into turn number 1. Neither line getting the amazing jump that either driver wanted, but looks like the 73 of Malarkey will slowly inch his way forward and get out in front of that 24 of Joe Nidick, with William Brown slipping in behind them into third there, as Tony Fry looks to have a little bit of an issue, maybe falling back just a little bit as he starts to make a move back up the inside on William Brown.
This is one smooth track to watch. I mean, these guys are killing it out there to start these first couple of laps. They're very, very smooth out there on the wheel. Did see the 70 of McComas look like he moved over and let most of the field around him. He must have just had a bad restart, or just wanted to get out of that foray he was in up there.
Oh, as the 64 gets by the 48, able to get up to that back bumper of the 24, and almost got to that rear quarter panel there, but able to back out of it just in time. But we also got a race going on behind them. You got, who's that? Justin Barkley and Michael Compare having a side-by-side race. Derek Schimmel's involved in that one as well. Same thing with Greg Klein and Sneaky Pete Van Sprundle. They're going 2 wide around here.
Johnny Nidick on Facebook pulling for Malarkey and Tony Fry. Becky Fry also pulling for Tony Fry on Facebooks. Thank y'all for watching.
Does anybody mention the number 10 car? And look at his paint job out there. The family truckster.
Oh, you gotta love that, man. I think that was one of those red stick Mike paints. Guy can paint some cars now. 21 with the Christmas lights or something, huh?
As we're 3 wide back here, we got Derek Schimmel, Pete Van Sprundle, and Stephen McComas 3 wide as they come across the line. Still 3 wide as they head off down into turns 1 and 2. It looks like the 70 on that bottom line, I think, is probably going to get away with that position, and he will.
Derek doing a little side drafting on Pete in that number 80. That may have helped the 70 get around.
Yeah, Sneaky Pete, he doesn't care. He's going to go 3 wide anywhere.
And this track is pretty wide, and it's multi-groove, so.
That it is, as the 64 tried to make a pass on the 24, not able to do so. So Tony Fry going to lose a position after losing a bunch of momentum back there to William Brown in that 48. The Lotte Motorsports 48, looking to catch on up and maybe help his teammate by catching up to Malarkey here.
Looks like Pimpare, Schimmel, and Klein are all up 4 spots all together, helping each other out there. As Pimpare gets around the 27 of Mike Simone.
Kind of filing out, single file. Is this kind of what we expected?
And yeah, especially being a 175 lap race as the 48 now trying to make a pass on the 24 going up the inside. The 64, Tony Fry, maybe looking to try to follow him through here, but not quite able to do so. This being that longer race, there's going to be a whole lot of green flag pit stops, I think. So I think people are just taking their time, trying to let their strategy come into effect here, as Someone who needs to get something going is the 5 of Tabor Mowry, all the way back here in 12th as of right now, trying to make up some ground, but he's got a whole lot of ground to make up.
Yeah, he's probably just clocking the laps away, you know, just letting it go. He's probably reading the news like I just did, and finding disturbing things out there. Like there's a female on a Delta Airlines flight that was breastfeeding a hairless cat. I've been a little traumatized by that story I just read.
It's a little strange.
Sometimes you got to multitask when you're doing these long races.
Ooh, that's the 27 of Red Stick Mike Simone. Had a run on Greg Klein there and almost wasn't able to get around him in time, but able to avoid that contact, as right in front of them you got Tony Fry, you got Mike Pimpere, and Justin Barkley all racing for a position up here.
Was her logic that if it's a hairless cat, people would just see it at a glance and just think it's a baby?
I don't know. I got a little bit through there, and I just said I have to share this with the people. You know, the people out there want to hear. They want to hear news, real stories. You know, and they want to see racing. I mean, that's what we're here for. I mean, I'm just reporting the facts.
Yeah, thanks, Cronkite. Look at how close all these cars are to each other. The top 8 cars are still all pretty dang close to each other. They're not letting anybody get away. They're not letting the 73 get too far out there. So a lot of single file out there. It's going to be a lot of follow the leader, merry-go-round. All the horses are going to stay the same distance apart for a while, I think.
I think so, but these guys are also going to be trying to experiment with some different lines, see what works, see what saves tires, see which one's going to be a little bit quicker if they got a little bit of run later on in this race, as the 64 gets a big time run on the 21 of Mike Pimpere, looking to his outside, so trying to make that outside line work as he squeezes on down, maybe trying to get a little bit of side draft action going on here. So Tony Fry trying to make up a little bit of ground that he lost from the beginning of this race. He's down 2 from where he started, and it looks like there's a whole line as the 64 gets turned on that front bumper of the 21, and that's going to lead to a yellow flag.
Luckily, no other cars hit him as he spun back up across the track. He probably does have some minor damage. Let's take a closer look.
Well, he's going to have pretty good damage. And
get a little left rear bumper damage. Oh, the right front on that car's pretty tore up.
That's not good. We have 0 fast repairs, as y'all know. And Anthony Fry is in the chase.
Man.
That's going to hurt him.
I don't know if the 21 of Pimpere got the clear sign from his spotter or what, but he just moved straight up into the 64's quarter panel there and sent that 64 for that ride. And yeah, that 64 got quite a bit of damage.
Man alive.
Was there any bad blood here? I mean,
I don't believe so.
Wow, yeah, that was an unfortunate incident.
And it's going to bring everybody down here onto pit road with our first yellow flag of the evening here on lap 14. Just Malarkey coming on down, but Derek Schimmel taking the brave call on staying out.
He probably just wants the extra point. I don't know, leading the lap.
Points,
doesn't really matter, but I mean, maybe it's for the glory. Maybe he just wants to say he did it.
There's only 14 green flag laps on these tires. He might think he can go ahead and make it to the end of a full fuel run, but we'll see what happens when they drop the green here. He may have he may regret that when he sees some cars flying around him, but I trust Derek's judgment. He knows what he's doing out there.
As it looked like a Red Stick Mike Simone there might have missed his pit box because he just drove right on through the pit lane and right back out. So
oh no, completely missed it.
So Derek Schimmel and Mike Simone are going to be your front two who did not come down into the pits. Just Malarkey was came out in front of those guys that did did come down. William Brown will be starting right outside of him. Then Joe Neidick followed by Justin Barkley.
Yeah, and Anthony Fry stayed in a little bit extra, 55 seconds. Hopefully got a bunch of stuff fixed on that 64 machine as he's coming back out, catching up with everyone else.
Simone taking another stab at it down pit road. He's coming back down the pit lane at 50 miles an hour. Sorry, 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think 45 is... It's going to be interesting when we see some green flag pit stops. It's pretty slow, a little bit tricky down there.
Brown, it's kind of hard to see pit road here, isn't it? When you're coming around out of 4, it's kind of the shape of the track. It's kind of deceiving when you come around there and try to look for the pit entry.
It is. Well, not only that, but when you have yellow flag pit stops like they do, pit road gets very busy, and that could have happened to Red Stick there is just not being able to see his box.
Well, a whole lot of races still to go. We are just scratching the surface tonight as far as this action goes. Lights are out on the pace car. We're back too wide again. That front row, man, we're going to see what happens here.
Yeah, with Derek Schimmel up at the front with Justin Malarkey there in second, starting on that outside. So we'll see what happens here as we wait for this green flag to get back going with pace car coming down pit road right now. And here we go. Green flags waving, off and running. We go side by side once again across the line, down, off, and running into turns number 1 and 2. The 48 giving a little bit of a bump to Derek Schimmel there, trying to get him going and maybe get him out of the way just that little bit quicker, because that 73 of Malarkey is moving.
And that all latte second row wants to go. Oh, a little 3 wide here.
3 wide with the 21 to 48 and Derek Schimmel in that 96. So Derek Schimmel here maybe regretting not coming down for some tires as people just fly right by him, as he's now got everybody coming by.
Red Stick Mike's coming to the pits, and Anthony Fry looks like he's under power.
Oh no, man. Hate to see that. One of your playoff contenders, one of your final 4. He's just got so much aero damage and just couldn't fix it all, probably.
Someone hit Greg Klein as well. His back right quarter panel's tore
I
up.
think that happened when everybody was checking up for the caution. I believe that's when he got smacked in the right rear bumper.
As Mr. Mac and Cheese, Justin Barkley setting the fastest lap of the race so far here on lap 19. And you got Justin Malarkey up at the front, Joe Neidick followed by William Brown. Mike Pimpere is hanging out right there as well with that kind of Christmas late all colored up car. And then there's where you can find Justin Barkley currently sitting there in 5th. And now Greg Klein's got the fastest lap of the race here. Catching a little bit of that draft flying up through this field. And as you said, it looked like Red Stick Mike Simone had to come down into the pits again, so he's going to be a couple laps down. But kind of more importantly, as we got some moves going on here up at the front, you got William Brown in that 48 trying to get around his teammate of Joe Neidick in that 24, trying to maybe get out in front, maybe make a pass on Justin Malarkey for his teammate there, thinking, man, I'd run just a little bit quicker than you right now. Let me go do some work.
And y'all at home that are watching, you might think, hey man, brand new tires, that's when you're going to set your fastest lap. Not quite. It takes a few laps to get some heat built into these tires, let them get good and grippy, and that's when the car really starts to come to you and really perform. we start to see these fastest laps with about 5 or 6 laps on the set of tires.
So we got the 10 of Matt Fornes looking to the inside of Greg Klein. It's not quite there, though, so they're going to single file out and maybe figure that one out later on, as that gap up to the lead still maintaining right around that 1/10, 2/10 mark. William Brown catching right on up with the draft to that back bumper of Justin Malarkey. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of line Justin Malarkey runs here, whether he's going to go defensive or just kind of keep running his race here, as that 48 is definitely helping that 24 stay up there with that 73.
Davey Hendricks chiming in on YouTube saying, well, that sucks, in reference to the last caution. Who turns right like that with no room? And yeah, it just, whatever angle you see it from, it just, you kind of got to wonder how does that happen. But visibility is not great in these cars, so maybe he just didn't. He judged the clearance wrong, or his spotter wasn't working, or who knows. Not trying to make excuses for these guys.
Or maybe he's just angry, driving it angry.
Or maybe he got pissed and said, see ya.
Yeah, I don't know.
Punted him. I doubt that.
His back of his car says, eat my road grit, liver lips. Clark Griswold.
As we continue to single file race around here, Tabor Mowry, man, he's not having that great of a night, even with that yellow flag to kind of regroup everybody up. He's still, falling backwards kind of behind this field, currently up into 10th, but he's got the 26 of Michael Buckley chasing him down a little bit here, as up at the front, William Brown looking towards the inside of Justin Malarkey, just not enough of a run there to make the pass.
We want to thank A&J's Custom Creations once again. You can find them on Facebook. They do custom cakes. They can decorate, monogram pretty much anything. Put your name on a tumbler, or do all kinds of decorations. They do seasonal stuff, so if you want some cool Christmas themed stuff that's custom made, American made, good small business out there. So A&J's Custom Creations, check them out on Facebook. Live, these guys just got the cruise control set, I think, now.
Yeah, I think I got mine on too. I'm gonna have to go back and read y'all some more stories from today's headlines.
Airline oddities.
Yeah.
What magazine?
Matt Ford's in the 10. I really like that quote on the back of his car. Save the neck for me, Clark.
As we're 3 wide here with Greg Klein, McComas, and Fornes. Man, Greg in between those two. I don't know how to describe it, because we got people going up, we got people going back, we got people going up, we got people going back. It's like that Lazy Susan we see at those kind of plate tracks as people change lanes and do all that. But we had Matt Fornes in front of Greg Klein there for a second, and then now it's Stephen McComas in front of Greg Klein, and Matt Fornes is falling back. And that machine of Greg Klein definitely does seem to have some damage there, maybe from checking up for that caution.
Yeah, this track, it's like we said before, it's so wide. You can kind of experiment and play around and see where your car runs the best. And I think you mentioned it earlier, Alan, about seeing maybe which line saves those tires for later on when you want to make a push. Yep, some Anthony Fry fans out there on Facebook probably not happy with the way this is turning out so far, as the 64 took all that damage early. But hey, there's so much racing left to be done. Who's to say, tragedy won't befall a couple of these other front four, so we'll just have to see. As
Stephen McComas looks now to the inside of Mike Pimpere, Greg Klein looking to follow him through right there as well, as looks like we also might go 3 wide as Matt Fornes is getting a run on that outside.
He's making that outside line work. And I know Greg Klein did have to lift a little bit to keep from touching the left rear corner of McComas in that last set of turns. Ooh, Pimpere's got that car feeling pretty wide.
Yeah, and Fornes had to lift there as
They
Pimpere
did.
came out in front of him.
So we're still 2 wide racing here. Looks like Matt Fornes might be trying to push this one 3 wide on that outside. So you got McComas, Pimpere, and Fornes 3 wide as they come across the line. This is also allowing Taver Mowry in that 5 to make up some ground here, as we now got some contact between Klein and Pimpere, able to keep it all together here. These 3 guys, Fornes, Pimpere, and Klein, now still going at it as they head off down into turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, this 3 wide action this early in the race kind of makes me nervous.
Yeah, I mean, what do we have, like 150 laps to go or something? I mean, they're driving it pretty wild out there this early in the race.
So big loser out of that situation is going to be the 21 of Mike Pimpere, who was running up in that top 5, now kind of back down here into 10th. But we saw Matt Fornes there maybe ride the wall just a little bit, able to keep it together. But you now got Taver working on the outside of Greg Klein as they try to continue to catch the main leaders that they got going on up at the front with Malarkey, Brown, Barkley, and Joe Neidick.
Barkley with a pretty good showing tonight. Running up there in the front with the boys. Who's going to be your upset guy in the race? We talk about some of these guys that come out here and do well every week and just sometimes just have great luck, but a lot of skill involved too. Who's your kind of your upset guy, your dark horse that maybe doesn't always finish in the front half, that might sneak in and steal a top 5 or something away?
Stephen McComas? Maybe? Yeah, I mean, he got a win earlier in the season out of nowhere. He just...
Ooh, as he got a little loose coming off the corner.
Oh, Fornes is wrecking.
Both, maybe a little net code there, but both Fornes and McComas both got loose there and had a little bit of a contact, sending McComas really loose sideways, able to maintain control of that car. So good job from McComas. As
Fornes must have heard what Turner was saying.
I
He's
mean,
like, no, that ain't happening. Pow.
Well, hell, I just throw everything I say out the window except the hairless cat and the breastfeeding thing. I don't know. It looked like McComas came down. So, yeah, they stayed alive. That's the main thing.
it was a 21 of Pimpere, gets a big time run on the 10 of Fornes here, using a little bit of arrow push there to try to maybe make Matt mess up, but going kind of back to that previous conversation, someone who might make a little bit of an upset. I think the 26 of Michael Buckley.
You stole it from me. Yeah, I was gonna say, man, he started way in the back. He's up 6 spots, and he's a pretty solid race car driver as we see week to week. And I agree with you 100%, Brown. I think he's one of those guys that could slide up there and steal the top 5 away.
It's really the top 2 of Malarkey and Brown starting to run away a little bit here, but Brown not letting that back bumper of Malarkey go, as we're now on lap 40 of 175.
Boy, y'all easily gang up on me. I pick one guy, and all of a sudden he crashes. So,
Oh, it happens all the
I
way.
mean, he did win a race out of nowhere in the middle of the season. I can't remember where it was. I think it was North Wilkesboro. So,
I think he won a pole, and then he led like 50 laps or something.
yeah. So that was my dark horse, but now he's gone into the wind. So we'll stay with y'alls.
Hopefully he doesn't have a whole lot of damage and can get out there and still be competitive in that
Well,
70.
look at Brown coming up on Malarkey here.
Yeah, side by side as they go through 3 and 4. Is Malarkey going to try to fight him off and hold on to that lead, or just give up the position, knowing he's got a little bit of wiggle room here? Because Joe Neidick is quite a bit of ways back, and that's the last guy fighting for the championship, kind of in that rear view mirror for Justin.
And thank you, Miss Pam, for joining us once again on Facebook. Of course, pulling for Latte Motorsports, Taver Mowry, and Joe Neidick. Thanks so much, Pam, for joining us tonight and watching on Facebook.
It's like the 73 gets turned by the 48 as he went up into the wall and came back down onto the track, bringing out the yellow flag.
So Malarkey just needs to make sure not hit anything.
I think Malarkey did that on his own, to be honest with you. He just went high, come and hit the wall, come back down. Yep.
Check that replay.
That is exactly what happened. The 73 of Malarkey just kind of getting that run, trying to stay out in front of the 48, gets pushed out up into the wall because of it, and the 48 was pushing up as well, but 73 hitting that wall, comes right back down and comes across that bumper of the 48. And it doesn't look too much of a damage issue there for Malarkey, but he's definitely showing some.
What do you think his Brown, teammates of Neidick and Mowry, right? I think his job right here is to push Malarkey. Just push him, and that's what he did. Nothing dirty. Just made him drive harder than the car could take, you know. The tires were wearing out. That's some teamwork stuff that we were talking about earlier.
Everybody's coming down pit road, looks like.
I would say so, as I think Derek Schimmel now is going to get a lap back and catch back up to the regular field.
Good job, Derek.
I think Red Stick Mike Simone, I think he might be pitting this next time by, but we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a race here coming off of pit road. Time to see who can do what, maybe make up a few spots. And I got to imagine Malarkey might be sitting there in the pits for an extended period of time. Same thing with, this might help out Tony Fry a little bit as we got a big-time race off of pit road. William Brown followed by Pete Van Sprundle and Joe Neidick. Greg Klein right there in 4th. Taver Mowry up to 5th. And Michael Buckley up into 6th.
Yep. William Brown, they must have hit it with the hammer 3 times and said, yeah, you're good. You had an extra 3 seconds in the pits than he normally would, so he didn't have much damage on the front.
Malarkey is still in the pits. His damage is a little worse than we thought.
Oh, man.
Well, he's also got some time before he officially goes a lap down here. As long as he beats that pace car out and maintains that lead lap, he's really not into too terrible of a spot as he's now leaving. So, again, it's the same kind of thing for Tony Fry. He had plenty of time there to get some more damage fixed up. So, who knows? We might see these guys back up here to the front before we know it.
And meanwhile, I don't know what you think about it, Adam, but put yourself in Joe Neidick's spot right now, or Taver Mowry's spot. Joe, all he's worried about is staying in front of Taver. That's all he has to do. Stay in front of Taver, Fry, and Malarkey. He's in 3rd right now. Does he fight any of these guys and try to move up? Or does he, as long as he's in front of Taver, he just wants to cruise around?
I would try my hardest not to start driving with my rearview mirror at this point. It's still early.
Yeah, you're right.
We have over 100 laps left in this thing, so just hang on, run your race, just like Ricky Bobby said. Run your race. Same thing. Or I don't know what movie that was.
Right at about 130 laps to go. Oof, it's a long one, boys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have about 3 intermission breaks, like a federal 15-minute break. All that stuff.
I gotta take my DOT break too, because let's see.
Malarkey's coming back down to get some more damage repaired.
Which again, great call by him.
Yep.
Get as much as you can done here under these cautions, because you never know once this thing goes back to green, if we're going to stay green or if we're going to get another one, or what's going to go on out there. So we'll just have to see how down on speed Malarkey is. Same thing with Fry. He was able to get more damage fixed, like we said. Just got to wait and see if he's kind of back up to speed to at least be maybe a little bit competitive here again. And that's the tough thing here with no fast repairs. Any little wall hit or anything like that, it's going to cost you.
So Latte Motorsports are going to line up the second and third car in line with their teammate out in front. So you've got Latte cars 1, 2, 3 on the inside line. The second and third cars are your playoff competitors. So, but Brown wants to win this race. So, man, that a little bit interesting team dynamic going on up here in the front.
That it is. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing, the pace car making that dive off down into pit road. We got William Brown and Pete Van Sprundle up here at the front, taking to this green flag, and away we go. Running on down into turns 1 and 2. Man, Taver Mowry wasting no time to kind of move up the track there. Maybe getting a little loose as Pete Van Sprundle, not the best of restarts. Both Neidick and William Brown get away from him, so he's able to slide backwards a little bit here, but now looking again towards the inside of the 24, not able to quite make it work. That's going to allow the 92 of Greg Klein, as we got some action going on behind them with Matt Forns and Mike Pimpere.
And Buckley and Pimpere going back and forth right on each other's bumpers. Pimpere looked like he might be doing a little bit of mirror driving as he's trying to get around outside of the family truckster of Matt Forns right now. Looks like he'll take that spot right in behind Taylor Mowry in the 5.
So we continue to jockey for position here. You got Pete Van Sprundle in the 80 making a move on the 24 up the inside, trying to get back around and take away second place from him. But once again, all this fighting is just going to keep this field closer and closer, and maybe let William Brown kind of drive away just a little bit, as it looks like Mike Pimpere was able to get out in front of Matt Forns there, and that also allowed Taver Mowry to kind of squeeze on through, as we're 3 wide behind him, the 27, the 73, and the 26 all going 3 wide there. And it looks like that 73 of Justin Malarkey not doing too bad, as the 27 takes a crazy line. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he got loose or what, but went from the top down to the bottom, back up to the top, got into the side of Malarkey. No caution and really nothing else going on there, but oh my.
I was going to mention I'm riding with Malarkey right now, and he doesn't seem like he's lost anything. He's kind of moving real quick up to the field, so his day is not done for sure.
He's got that Jimmy Johnson pit crew out there working on that machine.
So you now got Matt Forns and Derek Schimmel trying to move around Taver Mowry there, as you got Justin Malarkey coming up on Taver. This is a important pass for Justin and Taver, as these two are those final 4 drivers. But Justin looking to the inside, trying to get the run, trying to get the pass, but they're still going to be side by side as they get down into turns 1 and 2. And it looks like Malarkey will just get clear of Taver.
Derek Schimmel up another spot, holding down the 7th position right now on the lead lap. 96 Mountain Dew machine out there making some pretty decent laps.
It's like Pete Van Sprundle was able to get away and clear the 24 of Joe Neidig. So Pete Van Sprundle up into second. You know, that's another guy to maybe spoil a little bit of action up at the front there. Is that 80 of Sneaky Pete?
Johnny Neidig on Facebook said, "Go Pete." He said, "Don't let Latte just take you out."
Yeah, I'm glad he's watching.
Yeah, good to see you back watching on the Facebooks.
So we now also got the 92 of Klein and the 24 of Neidig going side by side through turns 1 and 2. But man, that 92 does not look comfortable sticking to that bottom line. I think he wants to move up the track just a little bit, but not quite able to when he's got that 24 on that outside of him. So they're still going to be side by side as they come across the line.
Davey Hendricks joining us on YouTube, as we mentioned a while back, saying, "So what championship guys are left?" It's Joe Neidig, Taver Mowry, Anthony Fry, and Justin Malarkey. And right now, the Latte guys are like they're having the best luck right now, staying up towards the front.
Yeah, it's a long race, and I think Malarkey's, we're going to see him back. Anthony Fry, I don't know, he had so much damage early. It's going to cost him.
Man, it looks like he still might be dealing with some of that because he is still kind of dropping back from this field. It might even be worse than before. It might be one of those situations where getting that fixed might have actually hurt you more.
He's bleeding time, as you can see in the interval. Just, he's losing probably 4/10 a lap, maybe. Maybe not quite that much. Pretty close.
I'm thinking maybe even a full second because his last time was a 32:16, and the leaders are running, 31. So
he was a full second behind McComas, who's the next car for position.
Hey, when are we going to go?
96 down to the bottom of the track.
He mentioned that he's going to let everybody by.
Temple.
I got my ears on the ground down here at Pit Road, but real question is, when are we going to go to the metric system? I mean, I've been waiting for this when is this going to happen, guys? Because
told me that in middle school in 1990, 92.
Yeah, it would make totally more sense.
Y'all going to move to it soon.
Yeah. So if we're 1.5 miles, how many meters or kilometers are we running here?
That's about 40 square hectares, cubic hectares, I think.
What?
Oh, I don't know.
So we had Derek Schimmel coming down into the pits, making a interesting call with a green flag pit stop there. It might be dinner time for the native Californian.
That's
Oh, yeah, that's right.
not a call. Well, these commie bastards. They're trying to get us to go to the metric system. That was my point. We've been trying since the 70s. We're still holding out on these mile-and-a-half tracks.
As Justin Malarkey still trying to make up ground through this field, looking to the inside of Matt Forns right now, side by side as they went across the line and into turns 1 and 2. This little bit of a fight is going to allow Taver Mowry to also try to get around Matt Forns there. So Justin Malarkey and Taver up to 7th and 8th there, but still got a ways to go as Greg Klein and Mike Pimpere up here have a little bit of a battle for 5th. It looks like Greg Klein on that outside will be able to kind of hold on to that position, but your top 3 really haven't changed with Browns, Van Sprundle, and Joe Neidig up there at the front. But Justin Barkley, Mr. Mac and Cheese, is definitely putting in the effort here tonight, catching on up to that back bumper of the 24.
Yeah, he was knocking on the 24's door there for a second. As the 24 looking to the inside of Sneaky Pete Van Sprundle in the 80 machine, the Where's the Beef Wendy's car, but doesn't quite have it yet. So, Turner, this track is about 2.6 kilometers. The only reason I know that is because I used to run 5Ks, and I know a 5K is 3.11 miles. So a
Oh,
mile
what
and
are
a
you-
half.
what are
you're
you?
A little bit more. Huh?
You're European now? You're running a 5K instead of a 3 mile?
I don't know. I didn't name the events.
Well,
They
I
didn't
just
call it
started.
the Susan G. Komen 3.11 mile race. They just
Oh,
called it
now you
5.
gotta throw philanthropy in there. Here's my thing.
I'm a great philanderer.
Yes, you are. You're full of philanthropy. I just looked at my bottle of booze. It's 1.75 liters. I'm a communist. Wow. We're already using it. We don't even know. That's how they get you.
Half gallon. It's half gallon.
It's 1.75 liters. What does that mean?
I still call it a handle or a half gallon.
Yeah, it's a handle.
As
Anyway, sorry, Brown.
22 of Justin Barkley goes side by side here with Joe Nidick trying to steal away that third position and move, Joe Nidick kind of down that leaderboard just a little bit. So right now your top three, not any of the final four chase drivers here. And that's something, Justin Malarkey would definitely like to see. Same thing with Taver, as that gap is slowly increasing between Malarkey and Joe Nidick, and that's your closest race kind of for that little championship position, as we got side by side here with Malarkey and Pimpere.
And they're right behind Greg Klein, who's your biggest mover of the race so far. He's up 7 spots. That 92 machine been dealing with that right rear damage all night, probably affecting his downforce and all that, but still hanging on to that 5th position as he's got these guys fighting behind him.
There's a little bit of racing out here on the track. I'm continuing to think about this new world order they're trying to put on us. We got single lug nuts next year in NASCAR. What in the? I mean, if that's not a new world order takeover, I don't know what is.
Pete Van Sprendel into the wall as he's going to lose that spot to Joe Nidick.
Not quite yet. He's able to get it all back together, so they're side by side here once again. Pete Van Sprendel on that outside, still trying to stay in front of that 24.
Oh, their buddies run around the track and Nidick racing. Where's the beef?
Oh, Taver moving up in front of Malarkey and definitely slowing his progress on the outside line. I don't know if he'll get away with that twice.
And Pete Van Sprendel just getting clear of Joe Nidick, so that little incident with the wall, able to keep on driving. But Justin Barkley up into second here, and he's chasing down the leader of William Brown.
Wow, go Justin. 22 machine is moving tonight. Yeah, Pete Van Sprendel, he must just have lost a little bit of paint off the right side of that car. It doesn't look like that contact with the wall hurt him a bit.
Yeah, Tabers looks like he wants to make a move here on Pimpere.
Maybe peeking to that outside line, trying to get a run, changing it up, maybe faking him out, making sure he sees him in that mirror, but not able to get the run and the pass there. But that's going to allow the 73 of Malarkey to gather up some momentum and try to maybe make a run back on Taver now.
Taver saw the 73 kind of look inside for a second, and the 5 immediately moving down to take this inside line and pass the 21. The 73 can't quite clear him, though.
Taver's really fast on that backstretch.
73 not having as easy of a time getting in front of Pimpere here. Looks like he's finally clear now, though.
That it does, but that just goes to insinuate, the race that's going on inside of this race. I mean, you got your typical race in action going on, but, when these championship guys get together, man, it's a whole different ball game. As we're now on lap 71 of 175. We're going to take a quick break here for some station identification, and then we'll be back with some more racing action here from Kentucky.
Ooh, Yahtzee.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Once again, 2 series for us here, the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It's Rockingham 150 brought to you by Jinx Shifters. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason over here, Signature Esports.
And welcome back, as we really haven't had too much go on other than Taver Mowry just finally got by Greg Klein. We saw that little bit of a race going on for a bit. William Brown continues to lead right in front of Justin Barkley, but man, Justin Barkley doing a heck of a job not letting William Brown go, especially on these older tires. But that's the thing we need to kind of talk about here in just a second, as we first talk about our great sponsor of A&J's Custom Creations, being a wonderful partner here to the Midwest Days of Thunder League, and definitely go check them out on Facebook and anywhere else that you can see that they've got their store up and running, and they've got some great printing options for you.
My wife's on their website right now as we speak, looking at tumblers and stuff. So I'm sure.
Tell her to get me some for Christmas.
All right, I'll let her know.
Let her know I'd like a tumbler with some more stuff on there. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. See what they can come up with.
As we saw there, the 64 of Tony Fry going officially one lap down now, so he definitely needs a caution and some bad luck from some people to make up some ground and all of that. But you also got Greg Klein. He hasn't let Taver Mowry drive away too much here, as Matt Fornes looks to the inside of Justin Malarkey as well.
Yeah, there's some good battles out here, and you talk about Midwest Days of Thunder. This league is growing, I'm looking forward. This is the final race, I think, of this season for everyone. We're going to start back next year with ARCA, trucks, Xfinity, and the Cup cars, man. And you can work your way through it. If this is some kind of league you'd like to be a part of, I suggest it. You start in ARCA, work your way to trucks, Xfinity, and up here to the Cup Series if that's what your deal is. So come check them out, Midwest Days of Thunder.
Yeah, be watching for those recruitment races to start going up for ARCA Series. They're really trying to pull in some new drivers and some new talent. So if this is the kind of racing you like, that's very structured and they have good race control and the team concept is very, very big here. So if that sounds like something you want to get into, go check them out. And attend a few ARCA races, the recruitment races. You'll start to see them in hosted sessions, I believe, here soon. But yeah, go ahead and check them out, see if it's for you. I know I enjoy the heck out of it. Those ARCA cars are fun. Don't let it fool you that, man, these cars don't have as much power and all that. They are a blast to drive. I did a whole season of ARCA like you guys did. It was something else. Once you get used to that thing, it's a beautiful car to drive.
Yeah, and I kind of like the trucks too. They're fun to drive, and
Oh yeah.
it's just a really cool league. Come check it out, Progressive League, Midwest Days of Thunder. A lot of cool cats here. Fun racing.
As we are now on lap 84 of 175, which means these guys have been out on these tires since lap 43. I know you didn't have a chance to jump into one of those test cars, Mr. English, but when do you think these guys are going to start to look to come down?
It's hard to tell. I think now they're more in the fuel game strategy right now because nobody really has an advantage. Malarkey's the only one that really has an advantage on tires. His laps are 2 laps newer than everybody else's. But aside from that, I think you're going to see a lot of guys saving tires to try to get to the end of this fuel run. I think you'll see quite a bit of that if we stay green. And if we get a caution here any time from now until the end of the fuel run, that goes out the window. Everybody's coming.
As the 22 of Justin Barkley made the pass on William Brown up here at the front. So your new leader, the 22, Mr. Mac and Cheese, Justin Barkley. And maybe breaking that little string of bad luck he had for not running the Mac and Cheese paint here. Racing that beautiful kind of black and gray car out there in front right now. And, you know, this is also something interesting to see. We've normally seen William Brown in that 48. Much like the 73 of Malarkey kind of throughout the season. Once when those guys got out front, they just drove away like there was nobody else here at the racetrack, but not being able to do that here today.
Yeah, and Malarkey hadn't either. I think he's sustained enough damage. I think it's kind of slowing him back a little bit to where he really looks like he's struggling out there to keep up. Maybe if he gets a caution here, he could get some of that fixed.
That's the second time in as many laps I've seen the 48 get visibly loose. I mean, the car was sideways. The first time was when the 22 was going around him, and the second time was just now. Right there, I think it was when they were coming out of 4, going into the trial.
And so definitely this tire wear becoming a little bit of a problem for some of these guys as they head on through, down and across the line, now onto lap 89. And one would just have to think, as Matt Fornes in the 10, first one to come on down here for some green flag pit stops.
So it's one thing for Fornes to come down. I think the guys running in front, I think as soon as they see, you know, Taver or Joe come down, oh, here comes the leader right now. Justin Barkley's hitting pit road, so I think it has begun.
Well, there's your answer. I'd be follow the leader at this point, I would imagine.
especially if you're William Brown. You saw Barkley. He may not have called it out, which might have surprised him a little bit. So now Michael Buckley coming down. Derek Schimmel's been in the pits for that long time, still in there. Been 17 minutes now, so I do believe maybe Derek Schimmel getting some food as he chimes in on Facebook here saying, "Go Barkley." So that's going to leave William Brown, Van Sprundle, and Neidig up here in your top three, as Greg Klein still on that back bumper of Taver Mowry, as Justin Malarkey now coming down into the pits. And the problem here is he really doesn't have time. If he's got any damage he has to get fixed left, he really can't do it right now because we're still green flag racing.
Brown's coming down and Neidig.
There you go.
So that's going to give the lead out there to sneaky Pete Van Sprundle. First time we've seen him lead this race here today. And then we still got Taver and Greg Klein to come on down into pit road. Same thing with Mike Pimpere and Stephen McComas. And for the cars that were left on the lead lap, that's pretty much it. As looks like here comes sneaky Pete Van Sprundle now. It's time to see, does the 5 of Taver Mowry or the 92 of Greg Klein come down next?
Yeah, they're going to hold out another lap, looks like.
And thanks to our friend of the broadcast, Gary Sack, for joining us on Twitch tonight. Saying, hello, it's Gary, Go 48. He loves that Jimmy Johnson paint scheme that William Brown runs, and it really does look sharp.
Taver's going to pit this time. He called it out to Greg, and we'll see if Greg follows him down.
It doesn't look like it. Greg Klein taking that high line around, so Greg Klein going to lead a lap here today. Typically a very consistent driver out there with able to kind of maintain those tires as good as he can, and just right now up 11 spots in the first until we cycle this thing around, but not 100% the way I think Greg Klein wanted this race to go, as Mike Pimpere as well needs to come on down into the pits at some point here.
And thanks to JJ for joining us on Facebook, pulling for Joe Neidig tonight. Thanks for joining us, JJ.
Greg Klein's, he's probably got the slide rule out there trying to figure out the calculations for fuel and tires. And he knows what he's doing. I trust his judgment on the pit strategy.
He's got one of those old IBM punch card computers trying to tell him what to do, I think.
Yeah, something like that. He probably got a garage sale.
Navy.
Looks like we've pretty much had everybody come down, except Pimpere now.
Except Pimpere. William Brown is about half a lap behind, but that gap is definitely closing in, as William Brown able to run, almost 3 seconds quicker on those newer tires. So I think at this point Pimpere needs to come down, because he's just losing time after time as people who have pitted just fly right on by him.
Tony Fry's coming down once again. He's had a lot of trouble tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, you hate to see that from a top 4 driver having to come down and just keep fixing stuff. So thanks to the 64 for hanging in there and just staying with it, not giving up, and his fans haven't given up on him. The ones on Facebook, at least. So good to see Tony still in here trying to make something happen.
I'd like to hear from the fans. People watching this thing, I mean, it is the championship race. And it's a long one. Yeah. But I'd like to hear what everyone has to say. As Malarkey's passing Forns. And look at the back left quarter panel of Forns' car. That looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, Gary Sack, one of those guys that chimes in a bunch on Twitch. You guys didn't know we had a Twitch channel. We do. And he's saying that next season's going to be real interesting with a bunch of guys from Xfinity coming up. Yeah, we touched on that a little bit, Gary. It's going to be they're trying to do a full 40-car field, which will be, they're trying to get 10 teams of 4, or pretty close to that. You'll have some first-time owners, I think, that'll run some 2-car teams. But anyway, it's going to be a full field. And they're trying to do the same thing with Xfinity and trucks. by pulling guys up out of the ARCA ranks and out of the truck ranks and getting some full races. You know, it won't be, stuff like you see tonight where you got a dozen cars out there. Oh, no, it's going to be 35, 40 cars every week, and it's going to be exciting. So we can't wait either, Derek.
As we take a look up here at the front, William Brown was able to stay out in front of Justin Barkley after kind of how the pit stop cycled through. It looked like Justin Barkley stayed in for an extra second, maybe from a wall tap or something, had an extra second of repairs to be done, so able to get that done. But he isn't that far off William Brown's bumper, only a couple tenths there.
Hey, you know what happens with 30 to 40 car fields, don't y'all? Anger, hatred, malice, fighting. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible, fun to watch. We're going to have good rivalries. We're going to keep up with it every week. It's going to be awesome, man.
So you're going to have guys, they're not just going to be throwing shade, but they're going to be throwing helmets and hands, maybe.
They're going to be throwing hands. I'm going to write it down. I have a notepad where I keep track of who hates who. And it's going to be super cool, man. I might have to do like a Excel spreadsheet on this one.
Yeah, you might need more than one page or more than one notebook, depending on how this season goes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know about y'all.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure y'all like the fights. I'm just the one that talks about it all the time.
Oh yeah, man, we love it too. And hey, look, they decided. I believe the competition committee decided not to go to the next gen car just yet for next season starting in January, because they're kind of waiting on iRacing to kind of work the bugs out, and this is a brand new unproven platform. The next gen car, so
yeah, they're using millimeters. They're using centimeters, millimeters. That car's nowhere where it needs to be. I don't understand the one lug nut thing. I'm confused all the way around. Does it have self jacks inside the thing too, like the Indy cars?
No, I don't think they're going that far yet. I do believe that instead of horsepower, they're using something else like bulldog power or something. I'm not really sure. Some kind of British unit of measurement, I'm sure.
Oh God! It's the end of the era.
We still got a little battle here going on for third. Pete Van Sprundle and Joe Neidick, as Sneaky Pete now looking to the inside of Joe Neidick here, trying to get back around him. Man, these Sneaky Pete, we've known him to have a good run here and there, but tonight he's been nothing but solid up there.
Yeah, he's been running top 3, top 5, led a few laps even. So New York's pride and joy, Pete Van Sprundle up there in that 80 Where's the Beef machine. Really turning it on tonight and putting in a good performance. Very solid race for Pete.
I think he's from Long Island. I don't know if they associate themselves with New York. I've known a couple guys from there. They're pretty vocal about Long Island.
Well, I mean, it is in the state lines.
Well, I just think I don't think they want to be associated with the city of New York.
I mean, he's not from Brooklyn or anything. Let's not kid ourselves here.
Yeah,
if he's from Massapequa or somewhere, and you put him against a Brooklyn guy, I don't know.
Massapequa.
That's a town in Long Island.
Is it?
I think.
How do you know all this stuff?
I don't know.
I thought you were the dumb Louisiana guy. You're bringing all the brains tonight.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all.
Look at you. Yeah. Country dumb is what you are.
Oh.
But boy, I tell you, someone who's hoping that these two get into it side by side, a little bit of a battle here, that's going to be Justin Malarkey, currently sitting there in 5th, about 8 seconds back from where these guys are. And Joe Neidick right now currently well in control of that driver's seat to win and take home the championship here tonight.
Taking a real close look here, let's see, at Malarkey's car. So some of the damage he has on the rear end is just cosmetic. His spoiler has a little bit of a bow in it, but I mean, it does not look bad at all. And looking at the front of his machine, it looks like they got most of it beat out pretty good. He's got a little bit of damage over his right front fender, but it doesn't seem to really be affecting him anymore.
There's something inside the hood that's really causing him some issues. And I want to go into country dumb so people don't think I'm slamming on Mr. English, Evel Knievel had 160 IQ. I don't think you all knew that, right? But he was kind of country dumb, He broke his bones, he jumped things, and you just kind of like you would think he's dumb, but he's really not. That's kind of like Alan English, country dumb.
Do you know what he did before he started jumping motorcycles and stuff?
I'm sure he was like a rocket scientist or something.
He was a safe cracker, man. He was a criminal.
Hey, easy.
He was.
Guy's a hero.
He was a robber, too. Oh, I had the toys when I was a kid, too, the little wind-up motorcycle.
Yeah, that guy was a hero. What are you going to bring it? I was trying to lift you up, and now you're making me angry again.
I appreciate you lifting me up, but I'm just letting you know. Hey.
I wanted people to know that country dumb means you're pretty smart, but you just play like a dummy and have a redneck accent like you're from Louisiana or something.
Well, that's real sweet of you. I appreciate it.
All right, just
but yeah, he was
clarify
a
things. Was he really? That's cool. I'm going to have to Google that. I'm going to Google some more news while y'all watch this race.
Oh, dude, give us some good headlines. I want to hear the best news out of Air Travel Oddities Weekly or whatever that other magazine you were looking at.
I'm going to shoot for Florida Man. I'll be right back.
Brown, these guys just pitted at 90, 92, 93. When do they come in again to try to kind of split these remaining laps?
Well, I don't know if they're going to actually try to split them or do that full run like they just had around 50 laps. So I got a feeling we're probably looking around lap 140, and that would be a 35-lap sprint to the end.
Well, these guys are probably going to be trying to manage tires a little bit more now, as opposed to, watching their fuel, because of the simple fact that the later you wait to get tires, the better your tires are going to be later. If that makes any sense, you're kind of moving your car's performance to the right, which is kind of what you want to do when you know the end of the race is coming.
Which it does make sense. But you also, not that the track's changing that much, but it must have changed a little bit for Justin Barkley while he was in the pits there, because he's now definitely not running as quick as he was, when he was trying to hang on to the 48 and, even took the lead there for a second. The 48 of William Brown is now driven away a little bit, 2.5 seconds up on Justin Barkley. That's also allowing Pete Van Sprundle and Joe Neidig to catch on up to him.
Yeah, Justin was pushing it hard, I think, and decided that last race of the season, if he's got a shot at getting a win, he's going to do everything it takes. And he may have burnt that right front up just a little bit. So, yeah, you can see his times are falling off a little bit. But, man, he's had one hell of a race, though. You got to give it to Justin, that 22. Looking at the current track temp, just went from 78 to 79 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's still pretty good sticky track out there. Not a whole lot of sliding going around until these guys get 40 laps or so on these tires, and that's when we start to see the wiggle on the rear end of these machines.
Yes, as Pete Van Sprundle continues to charge his way up to that back bumper of Justin Barkley. We got a little bit of a lap car maybe coming into play here with Michael Buckley, but here we go. Sneaky Pete to the inside of the 22, moving up the track just a little bit.
Oh man.
While y'all are watching that, Greg Klein just made a big move on Malarkey. Wow, that was pretty fun to watch, actually.
Becky Fry, thanks for joining us on Facebook, saying, come on, Fry, you got this. Man, Tony's got some work to do, Becky, if he's going to get back towards the front here. The 70 McComas is in the outside wall, scraping it, able to pull it off. He's right beside Tony Fry in the 64.
Yeah, Tony's is still a lap down, but fighting all the way through this thing.
Not giving up, man. That's what I really give it to guys like that who stay in it, and they don't give up. And thank you, Miss Pam, for being on Facebook as well, pulling for Joey. She's chanting, "Joe, go Joey, go!" Pulling for Mr. Neidick out there.
As Pete Van Sprundle maybe trying to change things up, instead of passing on the inside, maybe trying to look to make a pass on the outside of the 22 of Barkley. Here we go, side by side as they come through the exit of 4 into this kind of tri-oval area and across the line, side by side. It's also lurking right there is the 24 of Joe Neidick, just trying to let these guys maybe race it out. Like, don't have something happen right in front of me, man. We've seen a lot of these chase guys have some issues here tonight, one way or another. And the way Joe's been driving it here tonight, it's definitely one of the favorites here to win the championship.
He just needs to keep doing what he's doing, racing his race. Really impressive what Joe Neidick's got going on out here on the track. And a little bit lucky, too.
Of course, as I say that, he decides to take that very aggressive apron line to get around Pete Van Sprundle there to move up into third. So now he's trying to first get past this lap car, the 26 of Michael Buckley, and then catch on up and maybe make a pass on Justin Barkley.
Gary Sack ringing in on Twitch. He said he thinks with the next gen car going to a single wheel or a single lug nut design, a giant center lug nut, it'll probably keep the wheel more secure on the rim, more even pressure. You might have some, fewer loose wheel conditions next season in the in real life Cup.
That's their claim, but you know what they also used to claim? This was a stock car. You could just take it off the showroom floor, soup it up, and take the windows out of it. So it's come a long way since when I used to watch this.
And I think a lot of it, too, is them going to a lower profile tire and I think it's an alloy wheel. It's not a steel wheel anymore. So you really need, like, even pressure. Can you imagine those guys hit those lug nuts that hard with that much torque on an alloy wheel? It would just crack the hell out of them cast wheels.
Then don't go to it. What's the point? I don't understand. Anyway, I don't know. This is a whole argument for a whole nother round. Well, we actually have a lot of laps we can argue if you really want.
Yeah. Well, there's pros and cons to everything. And, you know, I'm not a fan of all the changes they're making. I don't like the sequential gearbox. I like guys having to shift a H-pattern car. You know, we're still front engine, rear wheel drive, stick shift cars here, folks. You know, I think you got to really, be able to back up any of these changes and really show that they're going to make the sport that much more fun to watch. I don't think all their changes really meet that bar.
Well, you know who meets the bar? It's iRacing. iRacing is a simulation, not a game. It's probably the best thing we got going on to train drivers at a reasonable rate, reasonable price. And I think we have drivers that have been in iRacing and worked their way up and ended up getting a cup ride at some point. So,
yep,
it's a great thing, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And kudos to iRacing. We talk a lot of smack about NASCAR and that, but it's great simulation, isn't it?
Oh, guys like William Byron. I mean, look, he's one of the big stars in Cup now. Started out just screwing around on iRacing, and look where he's at now. It really does. It really has made a few stars. William Wilson on Facebook. Thank you for watching. Pulling for Joe Neidick, and Pam's back on there again, pulling for Taver and Joe. So thank y'all so much for watching. We appreciate you guys, especially our repeat watchers who join us every week.
As Joe Neidick does able to get around the 22 of Justin Barkley there, so Joe Neidick up into second, but Justin Barkley not letting him go quite so easy just yet, as we continue to tick laps away here. Now on lap 126 of 175. Well, obviously past halfway. We're approaching 50 laps to go here with William Brown out in front, Joe Neidick there in second, Justin Barkley third, sneaky Pete Van Sprundle in fourth, Greg Klein currently sitting there in fifth with Justin Malarkey and Taver Mowry in sixth and seventh. So not quite the championship race that we thought we were going to see, where we'd see all four guys, right around each other up at the front. No, they're all kind of spread out due to one issue or another.
Yeah, Malarkey and Fry just kind of got the short end of the stick so far in this deal, with a couple of incidents, some damage. Right now, it looks like Joe Neidick and Taver Mowry are just fighting it out. Malarkey's still in there, but Joe right now is sitting very pretty.
Yeah, he's hoping this thing stays green so he can go jump down, grab some fresh rubber, top off with gas, and keep this big lead he's got over the cars behind him in Malarkey and Taver Mowry. Last thing he wants to see right now is a yellow flag. Even if he doesn't catch Brown, he's the guy to beat right now for the championship.
And Becky Fry on the Facebook saying, did Tony have issues? I wasn't able to catch the beginning of the race.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, the answer to that is yes. It looked like the 21 of Mike Pimpere. I don't know if the spotter had said clear when he actually really wasn't clear, but came up the track, and Tony unfortunately got some big-time damage from that. And, man, that was all the way on lap, I think, 14, and been able to kind of try to stick this one out as sneaky Pete Van Sprundle coming on down here with, on lap 130.
Yeah, I was wondering when they're going to start coming down, but as far as Anthony Fry, it says a lot about him. He's sticking through
heart,
it.
Man.
He's going to finish the race regardless. I mean, I'm sure he was angry. I don't think I heard a word on the radio when that incident happened, but he's still out there doing the best he can, and he's had a hell of a season, so that's something to be proud of.
He's come back down pit road over and over to get that 64 machine fixed, and doing the best he can out there with a damaged race car. Here comes Malarkey and Taver in together.
Yep, they're coming down. It looks like this could be the final pit stop if we don't have a caution.
45 laps to go. That's one heck of a run on them tires.
And like I said, I wasn't expecting them down until lap, right around 140, which would leave, 35 laps to the end, which, I mean, still is quite a bit, but a lot less than 45.
Yeah, maybe they're banking on, everybody has their own strategy, and this is where it starts to get kind of fun. We can kind of speculate on what people are doing and how the fuel is, how the tires are.
Well, I think Malarkey and Taver, when they saw, the first car or two come down, they said, that's it, we got to go, because they're all going to try to stay kind of on the same lap count for their tires. So Thorns came in there with them, too, and got 4 fresh ones.
And
he's driving a family truckster, you might as well.
Yeah, you might as well. That thing is terrible mileage anyway.
As we see Matt Forns come out of the pits right there behind Joe Neidick and Justin Barkley. But really someone who can kind of just run their own race right now is William Brown, as he's almost 3.5 seconds clear of Joe and Justin. So even if these two come down, I think William Brown is feeling quite comfortable on these older tires now that he's got some room and not really racing anybody. So he can kind of push that thing out, I think, until the full fuel run without too much issue.
Right, and and here's what Brown's thinking. He's got such a big lead. He's saying, well, as long as I've got these guys behind me and I'm able to stay in front of them, why stop and get tires just yet? Because the longer he waits, the better his tires are going to be at the end of the race. He's going to be flying late.
Yeah, and what an interesting track Kentucky to finish the season on. Isn't that? It was unexpected when I think we saw it on the schedule. It's a really cool track. I just didn't see it as a finisher.
It's a technical track. I mean, it's kind of like a Miami almost. It's wide. It's not super high banked. You know, it definitely takes a different kind of driver to drive this than what I am. You know, I love plate tracks and short tracks. The stuff in between, that's kind of a yawner for me, but as a driver. But these guys are really making it fun to watch. So this is one of those mile and a halves. I wouldn't call this a cookie cutter. This one is different, I think.
I disagree with you. I kind of think it's kind of like the old Texas without the. It's just wider on the front stretch. I don't know, but
I see your point.
you see what I mean? I don't know. Hell, I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. I'm watching a Clark Griswold car go around the track, so I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see this with about 20 more cars on it for sure. I think we'd have a little more interesting stuff happening.
Barkley just hit his box, getting 4 fresh tires of fuel. Here comes Joe Knight. So Klein is still holding out. He's going to stay out there in at least another lap.
Yeah, same thing with the 21 of Mike Pimpere and William Brown. And those are really the only 3 guys left here that need to make this final pit stop, coming down, you know, to the wire here, as Mike Pimpere currently sitting in 6th, but just kind of unfortunate here for Mike Pimpere. He was running up there in the top 5 pretty well for at least the first half of the race, but now just kind of fading back here a little bit.
Last couple of holdouts look like they're headed this way. Klein's still out there.
Well, it's Kentucky. I'm drinking Canadian whiskey, not Kentucky bourbon. So, am I failing America right now?
Man, yes. For all the railing you did on the metric system, and now you're drinking.
Well,
Crown.
Canada's cool. I mean, you know where they sell the country they sell the most Crown Royal liquor in is Texas. So.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah, that's why
I didn't know that was really true.
Yeah, that's actually true.
And as Greg Klein comes down into the pits, when everything cycles back on and through, Pete Van Sprundle is going to be your new leader, as William Brown just coming out of the pits here. Really not too much to talk about there on pit road. Everyone getting all their stuff done and everything that they needed to. So the 80 of Sneaky Pete up to the lead.
Good job, Pete, leading this thing. I'm just looking back here in second. 48 machine of William Brown. He has 9-lap newer tires. So watch that interval. You see that interval right there, that 3.4 seconds that's now 3.3 seconds? It is going to be changing quick. So watch your back, watch your mirror there, Pete, because Brown's going to be there for long.
As we got some side-by-side action here with Joe Neidick and a lap car of the 70 of Stephen McComas not having the race that he wanted. He was doing all right, was moving up through the field, and then started drifting back as this thing kind of started going on a longer run after longer run. But Justin Barkley was able to close the gap a little bit with that pit stop, having a great one there. Just a little bit quicker than William Brown, so back down to about a second, the gap between Brown and Barkley, as the 48 starts to chase down the 80 of Sneaky Pete.
Been trying to kill a mosquito in here for 2 hours, and if y'all don't know, it is the state bird of Louisiana. I can't wait for a freeze to kill all these things. Sorry, that was a little off topic.
State bird?
Yeah, the mosquito is the state bird of Louisiana. People say it's the pelican. No, it's the mosquito. They're the size of swallows here.
Oh, good lord.
Good to see old Sneaky Pete out there leading some laps. A lot of people don't remember the Where's the Beef commercials that Wendy's used to do, but I love when Pete runs that paint scheme. It makes me feel overtime. Here comes William Brown, as we predicted. Huge run going to the inside. Pete kind of squeezing him. I didn't really expect that from Mr. Van Sprundle, but he put the squeeze on the 48 down there.
Well, if he
cares.
No, it also, if he doesn't have his relative up, how else are you going to know the 48's coming up with a full head of steam on you like that? I mean, William Brown came up like he was standing still, basically.
Yeah. I knew it a couple laps ago.
Oh, as Tony Fry just avoids getting into the outside wall there, as he was side by side with Justin Barkley. But here comes Justin Barkley now up through the inside of Sneaky Pete.
Here's the real issue right now. Malarkey is in 5th. Joe Neidick is in 4th. So Malarkey has a long way to go and a short time to get there to try to catch Joe Neidick here as one of these top drivers.
As we now have
championship.
The final 31 laps to go here in this race. The gap for the championship, about 6 seconds between Joe Neidick and Justin Malarkey. But also right behind Malarkey is Taver Mowry, only about a second behind him. So, depending on how this thing goes, it's definitely not over for the championship.
Taver does not want to settle for a podium on the championship. He wants to at least get up there and pass another car or two. And Tony Fry hanging in back there, a few laps down, still out there being competitive, having fun, because that's what this league is about. Midwest Days of Thunder, we talk about it quite a bit. It's a progressive league, the team concept and all, but so many of these guys are friends, and they're friends of ours. You race a few seasons with these guys, and you get to know them and know what they're all about and where they're from and what they do. And there's friendships made in this league that last a lifetime. So if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, definitely hit these guys up and see what they're all about. Here comes Joe Neidick trying to make a move on Van Sprundle in the 80.
Yeah, no, well, and not only that, to get up into that official podium position here for the race, trying to get up into 3rd, that also adds another car of buffer if the people behind him find some mysterious button to, allow their cars to go faster. But that gap continuing to increase for Joe Neidick here. But that's just that little bit of extra insurance, adding that 80 of Pete Van Sprundle in between them.
They can only use DRS, I think, on the front stretch. I'm not sure.
What's DRS?
It's a Formula One thing.
See, y'all are changing. I don't like don't like your tone.
Well, you started with the metric system. Now you got me thinking about Formula One.
Yeah, that's probably what you do. You spend your Sunday mornings doing that. Probably get up at 4 a.m. and watch those clowns across the pond, racing all over the place, turning left and right, and looking like idiots, yelling at each other. I don't even know what the hell is going on when I watch that. It's not even. No, there's nothing. Never mind.
No, you didn't know what I was going to say. I said Formula One's. It's gotten worse than NASCAR. Now you got 1 or 2 teams that win every week.
Yeah, that's about right. It doesn't matter. They're all going to Formula E. Nobody wants fuel anymore. Gasoline. We got to make it out of a turbine or something, wind turbine. Hey, these people, I'm had enough.
As Taver Mowry closes in on the 73 of Justin Malarkey, trying to get a run and get around him to maybe give him a little bit of a better opportunity if something goes wrong up front with Joe Neidick to steal this championship away, but not quite getting the run on him right here, and going to continue to try to work to get around him.
How many liters of windmill are they going to put in those cars?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
You remember when they started putting ethanol in gasoline? You remember the old Exxon commercials, put a tiger in your tank? I had a buddy I worked with that said, "Oh man, it's not like that anymore. It's put a corn cob in your tank." I'm talking about the ethanol.
Yeah. That didn't last, did it?
This peanut oil is expensive, man. Have you fried a turkey lately? Oh my
Yeah, last year. You
peanut
couldn't afford
oil
it.
is outrageous.
It's like $50 a gallon. Well,
You might as
I don't know
well
how many
fill up-
liters that is.
You can fill up a Mack truck with diesel for what you pay for, the 2.5 gallon jug of peanut oil. It's crazy. I bet you if they made these cars run on peanut oil, it would smell a lot better at the track.
I tend to love the smell of race fuel, Sunoco race fuel. I love that smell.
What's the 5 going to do here, Alan? He is tracking the 73, but can't really catch him. And meanwhile, look behind him.
You got the 92 of Greg Klein on just a little bit fresher tires, looking to the outside of Tabor here, trying to get back around him and maybe throw his name into the little bit of a kind of battle royale that we got going on down here. Right all over that back bumper of Tabor, looking to the inside now, trying to get something to go and get a run, and here he goes, able to get right on through. And if you're Tabor, this is a great opportunity for you, because you've seen now Greg Klein kind of fly right up on you. I don't think Greg's going to spend too much time here behind Malarkey, so maybe Tabor's going to be able to follow Klein around Malarkey.
Well, Malarkey's not Tabor. So Tabor knew that Klein has better tires, and he said, I'm going to pick my battles. I'm going to just go ahead and let Klein around. Malarkey may not do that.
Yeah, it looks like he
He's
did.
pressing the issue. No, Klein is not clear here.
Still side by side here as they come across the line. The battle for fifth. Klein scored with that position. His nose was just ahead of Malarkey there as they head off down into turns 1 and 2, and Klein is now clear, and that allows Tabor Mowry to close that gap once again back up to Malarkey.
See, and Tabor didn't use up a couple of corners worth of tires trying to fight Greg Klein.
And it looked like
did.
Malarkey just kind of put a little block on the old Tabor. Yeah, shooting dice in Waco, you're going to roll snake eyes every time. That's what it's looking like out here.
As we now have 18 laps left here in this race, and definitely coming on down to the wire. The official race, William Brown's got a healthy 3-second lead out in front of Justin Barkley, but the race that we got going inside the race for the Ultimate Championship, that's Joe Neidick still sitting there in third, about 6 seconds up on Pete Van Sprundle sitting there in fourth, but even more so, it's got like 12 seconds all the way back here to Justin Malarkey. So as long as nothing goes wrong here for Joe Neidick, he will be your champion for this season.
Woo! Telling you what, man, it's getting it's anxious time for some of these guys.
Yeah, it feels like it's. I mean, we've been here 4 hours. It's time for my federal break. We'll go ahead and take a Yahtzee.
Looks like Matt Forrest is just sitting in the pits down there. He may be calling it a night just to kind of try to stay out of people's way. He knew, being a lap or two down, that he didn't really have a shot at getting up here and taking the win. So he's going to watch the rest from the top of the pit box, I believe, or the ice cream stand or the hot dog stand or wherever he's at.
As both Malarkey and Tabor now coming up on the 70 of Stephen McComas. A little lap traffic action going on here.
Well, this is what you call a pick right here. McComas is the 73's teammate. So what do you think's happening here?
Well, Tabor had the option. He could have followed the 73 through on that bottom line, but didn't quite utilize it as the 73 squeaks on by, and now the 70 drifting out way wide there, and the 5 was able to get on through.
Yeah, good to see these guys mixing it up here towards the end of the race. This is kind of what people tune in to see. They want to kind of see who the risk takers are and who's going to be fighting and it has not disappointed so far. Thanks so much, Gary Sack, for joining us on Twitch. And he's one of those guys that he watches a little Formula One. He said he loves it. He said that he loves playing the Formula One games and stuff that come out on the different platforms. So thanks so much, Gary, for joining us on Twitch. And thanks, Pam, for joining us on Facebook. She's pulling for those Ohio boys. Pulling for Joe and Tabor. And, if well, Adam knows about how tough those folks from Ohio are. They don't give up. They don't take any crap either.
No, as Tavor's still trying to figure out his way around the 73 of Malarkey. And really, that's the only race we got going on here today. As we kind of tick this one off, it looks like I think Tony Fry's going to be able to move up to 11th if Matt Forns did call it a night. So good to see Tony still sticking it out, plugging in those laps. The 26th of Michael Buckley, we saw him making a charge there. He's currently sitting back down there in 8th right now, but you know, he had a great run there kind of in the middle stretch of the race. And we mentioned him before, the 21 of Mike Pimpere, you know, was very racy early on, but now dropping back into 9th. So not quite the result that Pimpere's wanted today.
Yeah, he's currently the second car, one lap down, so not completely out of it. He's got a shot if we get a couple of late cautions here. But, yeah, it looks like it's kind of slipping through his fingers now.
Those cautions better come quick, you know. Not much movement right now.
As William Brown still has that 3-second lead here with 10 laps to go over Justin Barkley. And then Joe Nidick has closed that gap a little bit. It's about a 1.5 seconds up to Justin. So Joe not quite settled there for third, but I'm sure he will definitely take it.
Yeah, let's thank A&J's Custom Creations one more time for
Absolutely
putting this on. Check them out. You get a tumbler, so you can get the, I don't know, they do all kinds of printing stuff, isn't that right?
They do cakes too, which is pretty cool.
Cake? Oh, I love
Yeah,
cake.
man, custom cakes.
Custom everything. A&J's Custom Creations.
Hopefully they come back next season and sponsor a few races.
Yeah, we need some more sponsors. I need a whiskey sponsor. We'll work on that. We'll, in our next contract deal, we'll put like a beer sponsor or something together, and we'll sort it all out.
See, I got a feeling, Adam, you would be one of those guys that if you drink water, you probably drink like the liquid death water.
What is that?
It's a brand of water that they put in a can, and I don't know why they put it in a can,
Perrier?
but I don't know. Couldn't tell you. All I know is it's called liquid death, and it's water.
It sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna do some Googling on that one. Now I know something new.
So,
I do love the sound of a can opening. There's something to that. I don't know what it is.
That's true. Greg Klein's got the newest tires on the track, hitting at lap 139, and the second newest tires, of course, your leader, William Brown IV, in the 48 machine.
Before we get too close to the end here, I got a bone to pick with Brown anyway. He told me to strap on my drinking helmet in lap 1, so what does he expect? Did you not, Brown? You said...
I did.
Okay, so...
I did, because I knew this one was going to be a long one, so I wanted to make sure everyone stayed hydrated and, you know, had a good time here tonight as we now have 5 laps left to go here.
I think when we start doing start doing camera work, we're gonna all have to have drinking helmets. I think that's gonna be a requirement, probably.
Camera work? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I don't know. This is
new things to come.
These are rumors I'm hearing about
AAA
MDOT.
Broadcasting, Midwest Days of Thunder, .TV, YouTubes, I don't know. We're going to have fun with it.
Something having to do with the interwebs. man, the 5 is really trying to run down the 73, but he's holding that gap. He just can't quite get there. He's right at 3/10.
It looks like he gets a run and it closes in, but I don't know if, the arrow push here, where if you're stuck in that dirty air, it affects you that much. But that's kind of what it seems like, because Tabor will get a run, close the gap, and then next thing you know, he kind of starts sliding back a bit.
Well, as Adam mentioned, Tabor's better on the back side of the track. The exit of 2 and the entry of 3 and the backstretch, that's where he really makes up a little bit of ground, as he's doing right now. But when they get back up on the front, for some reason.
I think it's kind of just changed as he's progressed, and whatever his tire situation is, however his car feels, it just, things change as this track changes throughout the night too. Marbles and track temp and damage, all that stuff. So Anthony Fry is still out there trying to put those laps in. Good on him.
As William Brown makes the turn into 3 and 4, going to be coming across the line here. White flag is out. Final lap here of this season. William Brown, a comfortable lead over Justin Barkley, Mr. Mac and Cheese, and Joe Nidick there in third. Coming down through and across this backstretch, William Brown, who wasn't able to race as much as he wanted to here this season, but when he did, he came on big and strong through 3 and 4. One final little sprint down and across the line, picking up the win here today at Kentucky. But not to mention, through 3 and 4 and across the line comes the 24 of Joe Nidick in third for the race, in first for the championship.
Tabor was trying his tail off
he did everything he could, didn't he?
to catch Malarkey, but hey, man, hell of a season. I want to talk to Joe last. I don't know about y'all. I want to hear him.
Oh,
what a
yeah,
champion!
Man.
But
That'll make
look at those
Pam
fireworks
happy.
too. Yeah.
Thank you,
Good.
Pam, for joining us and pulling for Joey, and thank you, Becky, for the generous compliment there. We really enjoyed doing this season, and can't wait to see you guys back next month for the next season of Cup.
As we got a double latte burnout going on up here at the front. You got William Brown on the race win and Joe Nidick picking up that championship.
Tabor's joining in on the party up here too.
I thought we might see something like this. Look at them Ohio boys out there celebrating.
They scare me. Those Ohio guys.
One heck of a season for Joe. I mean, he's just been so consistent. We mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast how he didn't have any wins coming into this race. But 5 top 5s and 6 top 10s, that's more than anybody else on the circuit, anybody else in Cup. So Joe's consistent for Latte and knows how to get it done. So, and Tabor, his numbers were right there too. I mean, let's not take anything away from Mowry in the 5, but man, it's great to see these Ohio boys out there getting it done.
As we wait for everybody to jump on up into the Podium Finisher channel so then we can start chatting to some of these boys. Also, talk about a great race. I know we touched on it a little bit during it, but the 22 of Justin Barkley, man, this was definitely one of his best tracks that we've seen.
Oh, for sure, man. Good to see the Mac and Cheese man out there making it happen. He was solid all night. That 22 car was fast all night. Led a few laps and was very competitive up there. And good to see him finishing up there in second.
Yeah, we got our podiums up here.
We do. So let's let's start off with our second place finisher, and that's going to be Mr. Mac and Cheese himself, the 22 of Justin Barkley. Man, congrats on finishing second place here tonight. Unfortunately, if this was midway through the season, that would definitely help you out. But, talk about a great way to end this season here with a podium finish in second, especially with your up and down year that we kind of saw you have.
Yeah, it definitely was an up and down year, and it's finally good to finish it strong and on the next season.
What are you looking forward to next season? I know that we're going to stick with the current car. We saw a little preview of the schedule coming out. What are you looking forward to next season? I mean, what are your tracks that you expect to do well on? I mean, we've seen you do well on all kinds of tracks, and Kentucky tonight you just did great. What tracks are you looking forward to next season to kind of make a early points lead, maybe?
Well, definitely got to have a good first race in the restrictor plate race, and don't crash out and finish dead last, because that sets the tone for the whole season pretty much. But I mean, I think my strong suit is 1.5 miles, because road courses are not my thing. But yeah, it's been a great season, and shout out to North South, and this was my last race with them, so left on a good note.
Well, breaking news. So next season, I'm sure you're planning to be here. Who's your new team, and what are you looking forward to?
New teams with Derek Scrimmel. Smoked Out Motorsports. I'll be driving the number 9. So definitely looking forward to starting over and getting a good start to the season.
Sometimes you just need a change, and it's good to see you moving along and get with old Scrimmel. I know he's a pretty good team owner. He always took good care of us when we drove for him, so good luck to you in the next season.
Thank you. I think Taver gave me bad juju with the number 22.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
yeah,
man.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
All
no,
right, bro.
thanks, Justin. And again, congrats here on the second place finish here tonight.
Thank you.
Now we'll move on up to our race winner here. That's going to be the 48 of William Brown, taking home the win here in the last race of the season. Now, man, William, I know you probably would have liked to be racing for a championship here, especially coming towards the end, but unfortunately not the case. But still a great run through these playoffs and finishing off the last race of the season with the win.
For sure. It would have been nice to be in the playoffs, but, the reason I'm not in the playoffs is nobody's fault but my own. So, yeah, that is what it is. But I'm happy and content to know that if I was in the playoffs, that I would have probably ended up, maybe coming out with a championship win, as long as I made it through all the stages. I'm satisfied knowing that in my own mind. But Joe, man, he won this championship, the right way, the best way. Well, I don't know, the best way would be winning every single race, I guess. But he won that thing fair and square. He earned it.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about how consistent he was. A lot of top 10s, a lot of top 5s, more than a lot of the other guys that raced in the circuit. But yeah, man, next year is it's your season to lose, really. We've seen how dominant you've been, not just on 1.5 miles, but almost everywhere. A little bit of schedule changes next season, but we're sticking with the current platform. We're staying with the Gen 6 car. So what are you looking forward to next year? What tracks are you really planning to spend maybe a little extra practice at?
There are some interesting road courses that are not conventional for the Cup cars, and those are going to require some practice for sure. I don't think anybody's going to deny that. I think Tsukuba is a shorter road course that's going to take some practice. Lime Rock is the Clash. I mean, that's crazy, crazy. I don't have any words for that. Yeah, there's a few tracks on there that I think not many of us run very often that we're all going to have to put on some extra laps and practice. But as long as the Gen 6 car is the one we're running, I really feel that I'll have a strong chance every single race. So far, those Gen 7s, I don't know what the status is of those being as close to the real thing as it can be, but I've had a hard time racing those cars with other people and competing as well as I do in the Gen 6, so I'm just looking forward to having a good time next season.
Hey, congratulations. You won the finale. We've seen you win a bunch here. I know next season is going to be great for you. Do you have anybody you want to thank or any shout outs or anything like that?
Yes, I want to thank Taver, my team owner. I want to thank Joe, for being a teammate. I think he wasn't here tonight, but Richard Michelob Gray, he's always a big help every time, keeping our morale up and keeping our tempers in check. He was missed tonight. Want to thank everybody else in this league that's been driving, for the season. It's been a blast, racing with everybody, and I hope to see every single one of them again for next season.
All right, man. Well, again, congrats picking up the win here tonight, and to your basically entire team of Latte Motorsports having a great run this season, and we look forward to seeing what you guys can do when the next season kicks off.
Thanks, guys.
And now we'll go to our third place finisher of the race, but more importantly, the person who won this season's championship. That is the 24 of Joe Nidick. Joe, congratulations on being the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series champion for this season. I know it wasn't the flashiest of seasons for you, not really picking up any wins or anything, but more importantly, you ran out there very consistent week in and week out, and it just goes to show just being able to do that, you can walk home and be a champion.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I wish I would have got a couple more wins. I had a couple races I'd like to take back that I probably could have won and drove a little easier at the end, but it's a lot of times it's still just about staying consistent and running hard. I mean, even at the end here, I was real conservative coming in on the last pit stop. Didn't want to speed, didn't want to overshoot, and just kind of was cruising to make sure, I kind of knew what I was after and who I had in front of me. If one of the other guys that was in the title would have been in front of me, I would have drove harder, but I was just keeping my eye on the big picture.
We kind of saw you as the guy to beat. I mean, you ran consistent during the regular season and during the playoffs, but during tonight's race, you ran real consistent, and you never really, it never seemed like you got in too much of a hurry, just trying to hold your position, take care of your tires, and it really did pay off. And one thing you've got for sure is a fan base. So Facebook has done blown up with a lot of your relatives and stuff from up there in Ohio, and real happy to see you do well. And it was great seeing you run tonight. Is there anybody, any supporters out there you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, I give a shot to the team, man. We did a good job this year. All the, family, friends that watch. It's awesome. Like I said, you can go out here and just run real good. I mean, there was times during this race that I was faster than the two guys in front of me, or even just William in an early run. He was better than me on a long run. And a couple times I got to him, but I didn't push the envelope. I was just looking to get back-to-back championships, and that's what we made happen. And Latte got a race win, a team championship, and a championship, single driver championship. So we're pretty happy with that.
Well, you should be. I mean, champion. That's got a pretty good ring to it, and you looking forward to next season. It's kind of hard to beat what y'all have done at Latte Motorsports this season, but I know there's some big things in store, and I don't know if you're looking forward to it or you just want to relish in this win.
Yeah, it's nice, to get this championship and, like I said, get a second one under my belt. I am looking forward to next season. We got a good team. We do a good job of helping each other, and I root for the guys that we have on our team. I was excited for William to get the win, and it's nice, man. It's definitely going to be hard to back up what we did this year. William got a lot of wins, and we all ran real good. We got 2 of us in the Final Four, and I know we got another driver coming on board that we're excited about. I think he's going to bring a real nice calm to our team. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, y'all have one hell of a team. It's been fun watching y'all all season. Good luck to you in the upcoming season, and man, thanks for delivering so much awesome racing this season, and congrats so much on your championship. It was well earned.
Thanks. I think next year is going to be even more fun. I think we're going to have some real good racing. I think I'm definitely going to have to work hard to get another one. You go back to back, and guys are going to gun for you, and that's what I like. You got to step up to the plate when it's time.
There you go.
There you go. Well, again, congrats here, Joe, and look forward to seeing what you guys do.
Yep. Thanks, Phyllis.
All
Right.
right.
I'm not sure, but I think maybe Taver wants us to pull him up.
Yeah, league owner. Let's see if we got anything
League owner,
new.
you might give us some spoilers.
Yeah, something new in store for next season.
So let's do that. We'll talk with someone who's probably very happy for the Latte Motorsports teams. That's team owner, league owner, everything, Mr. Taver Mowry. Taver, falling a little short here today. Ran into some issues kind of early on in the race that put you a little bit behind the 8 ball, but did your best to claw back. But, man, you had your teammate there, Joe Nidick, winning the championship. You had William Brown up there taking the win. And, I mean, just all in all, Latte Motorsports this season had a heck of a good season.
Yeah, I mean, crazy the last race, man. Joey wins. Joey wins the championship. William wins the race. I kind of put myself behind the 8 ball, like you said. Early, I was a little bit too conservative on that first run. Something happened to Tony. I haven't watched it yet, but so it kind of put me behind the 8 ball. I had to kind of climb myself out of it. Very last run, I knew how to do something. Joey and William, I think, were like 12 seconds ahead of me. Short pitted, and Joey just does what he does best, and what he's done all my life, and just keeps on beating me. Can't figure out how, but he does it.
Well, you've been right there with him, basically, in the consistency column. Y'all both have 6 top 10s on the season. He had 5 top 5s, and you had 4. Both of y'all went winless, but very consistent. You guys are careful. You're calculating. You run well every week. That's what put you here, was your consistency. And it's a little bit hard to capitalize on that in one race, which is what we have here, a championship 4. You get one shot at it, and just coming up a little bit short, but you're one of those guys that's got a lot of support online. Grandma Pam is always on there cheering for you, and she's watching right now, and I'm sure she's real happy how the season turned out with you being at least in the top 4.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Grandma Pam. Loves that she tunes in every night. She loves watching this. She's probably going nuts right now and cracking a cold one with her husband and shotgunning it because Joey won the championship. So I'll be expecting a call here in about 15 minutes and hear her excited, and I always love that. Yeah, we just got. I mean, it's hard, right? Because me and Joey in the same family, same chat room. There's a lot of times where we were both silent because we didn't want to reveal our hand, and it's fun, but we make each other better. William makes us better. Michelob couldn't be here tonight, working nights again. He's the glue for our team. Did it for him tonight. Like I said, really proud of everyone. Couldn't have asked for a better season for us.
Well, I think I'm gonna shotgun a beer after this. It seemed like a long day. I know it's a long day for y'all working that wheel out there, but let's get to the nitty gritty of next season, since there's some new things in store. Anything you want to talk about of Midwest Days of Thunder? This progressive league really growing, and there's a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, so we opened up the truck. The truck league will be a new addition to the progression system next year. The first race in Cup is on January 7th. That's not an official race, just a clash. We officially start, I think, the 24th or I think it's the third Friday in January. Cup is gonna look a little bit different next year with stage racing, stage points. I have a system that I've kind of created. I haven't got to run it by the admins as of late, but it is in the works, so it's gonna look a little different. You're not gonna see this flag to flag racing too much anymore. It's great, but we like getting the field back together and seeing the racing just like that. Road courses is where it's going to be really interesting, I believe, because the way we used to do road courses is just line them up and go until it's done. Now it's going to be stages. You're going to have 15 lap stints, you're going to have 20 lap stints, and you may even have 10 lap stints for the end. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Got a lot of people coming up, a lot of great drivers coming up. But all in all, everything's just kind of getting revamped. Social media is going to be off the chain with new stuff posting every day. We're going to have a lot of promotional opportunities, and just really excited for next season.
So potential sponsors and stuff, can they reach out to you on social media? Should they go to Midwest Days of Thunder, maybe shoot you a message? MDOT TV, we got a couple of different ways for potential sponsors to get a hold of you. I mean, y'all still looking for sponsors for races next season?
Yeah, so I always offer the race sponsorship for the league people for free. If you're in the league, you want to sponsor races for free. It's kind of my way of giving back and saying thank you for racing here and all that jazz. We do have a series sponsor for everything besides ARCA, so that's going to be really interesting next year. There's a lot of prizes coming out. Just like tonight, Joe just won a custom diecast of his sim car. He'll win a butt kicker, and then he'll get a T-shirt, and then the team champions are going to get T-shirts also. So a lot of good things. Xfinity next year. Don't know what quite is going to be tagged on to the T-shirt that they are going to win, but there will be some incentives tagged on to that. ARCA's, just T-shirt and some more incentives, kind of same deal. As for sponsors, they can message the league page on that this is broadcasted to. The thing that I kind of forgot to touch on with the new changes coming next season is that we will be broadcasted on MDOT TV instead of our league page. It's a little bit more exposure. I think it's a good move for us. You guys do a great job. You guys bring a lot of new people and exposure to us, so I think that would be the best move for us.
Awesome. Cool. I mean, that's nice of you to say. I love it, man. It's a cool league, and I think we're all proud to be a part of it. And you're doing a great job. And let's get them in 2022.
Yeah, I'm excited. First time we've had a really off season. Going to take a little nice break and come back at it fresh.
All right, man. Well, again, congrats here to you and your team, and we'll look forward to seeing what y'all can do next season.
Yeah, thanks, guys. You guys are the bomb. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And that, my friends, is a season.
Felt like it in one night. It was pretty fun, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. So before we completely sign off here for this race and for this racing season, let's head on through and say where everybody finished here tonight, with William Brown picking up the win here tonight. The 22, Mr. Mac and Cheese, Justin Barkley coming in second. A great run from him. The bigger news, Joe Nidick, the 24, winning the season championship there, finishing in third. So again, congratulations, Joe. Definitely well-deserved there. The 80 of Pete Van Sprundle getting a great finish here in fourth. He had a solid race. Same thing with Greg Klein, the 92, up 7 positions, and hard charger of today's race, finishing in fifth. The 73 of Justin Malarkey looked like he might have been able to keep his hat in the mix there until a little bit of an incident partially through that race, which put him down a little bit, but still solid finish there in sixth. You also had the 5 of Taver Mowry there in 7th, with the 26 of Michael Buckley. Saw him kind of try to make a little bit of a charge, but not quite enough. Finish here in 8th. You got the 21 of Mike Pempere, also was pretty racy during the first part of this race, but fell on back to 9th. Still not a bad finish for him. And rounding out that top 10 is that 70 of Stephen McComas.
Tony Fry, we talked about him a lot tonight in that 64 machine, and the adversity that he had going on early in the race around lap 14 and all that damage, and kept getting it fixed and getting it fixed and getting it fixed, and never gave up and stayed out there and passed a few cars in the process. But he was one of your championship contenders, and he'll pick up 11th place tonight. Not where he wanted to be, but Tony, you ought to be real proud of how you drove out there tonight, and thanks for sticking with us. The 10 of Matt Forns, another one of those guys that had a little bit of bad luck. The old family truckster finished 12th tonight. The 27 of Red Stick Mike Simone picks up 13th spot. Derek Schimmel probably had some tacos DoorDash to his house. That's why he's 14th in that 96 machine. And that's it, boys. Looking forward to 2022 and what it's got in store for us.
Yeah, definitely. So not only for the league, but there will be some new things coming with the broadcasting as well. So you guys definitely do not want to miss out on what 22 is going to have to offer here for Midwest Days of Thunder. But once again, we thank you all for tuning in and watching this entire season. I know all the drivers appreciate your support that they have out on there, and for your guys' support for us as well. It's always appreciated, and that's the whole reason why we do this broadcasting thing is just to hang out and be with you guys and enjoy some great racing action here week in and week out. But on that note, here from Kentucky, that's the end of the season and end of this race. We thank you all for watching, and definitely keep your ear to that pavement, as you might hear some cars rolling your way here pretty soon as we look forward to starting up the next season. We will see you.
And thanks once again to A&J's Custom Creations on Facebook. Go check those guys out. The folks that run that are participants in this league. So go support a locally owned business on Facebook that makes custom decorations and tumblers and cakes and all kinds of cool stuff. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for awesome local businesses that we can help support, because this day and age, we need it more than ever. And thanks to them for sponsoring this race. And with that, we gone until 2022.
See ya.